There is little plausibility to the claim that it is absurd to criticize anyone for being critical. Obviously, people must assess one another, and not all assessments will be positive. However, there is wisdom behind the injunction against being judgmental. To be judgmental is not merely to assess someone negatively, but to do so prior to a serious effort at understanding. So, which one of the following most accurately expresses the main conclusion drawn in the argument? So the author is basically introducing at the beginning what we're talking about. So he first makes the notion of like, it's plausible to the claim that you can criticize someone for being critical, and then he kind of goes further into to do so. Like obviously, people must assess one another, but not all assessments are positive. Where the conclusion comes is right after the however. There's wisdom behind the injunction against being judgmental. So this is what he's arguing for, because then he explains to be judgmental is not merely to assess someone negatively, but to do so prior to serious effort understanding. So our conclusion is the after the however. Awesome. And while the beginning half of the argument is more so just kind of introducing where we're heading, like kind of like this idea and how people assess it, like people are saying it's absurd to be criticizing anyone for being critical. The author then gives their opinion on it and then kind of specifies a little bit more in the following premise. So let's look into the answer choices to figure out which one is the correct answer. A, to be judgmental is to assess someone negatively prior to making a serious effort at understanding. That's kind of the last sentence there. That's not necessarily a rewording of our conclusion, so we can cross her out. It is absurd to criticize anyone for being critical. No, this is just the claim that they are referring to in the argument, not the point of their argument that they're trying to prove. There is some plausibility to the claim that it is absurd to criticize anyone for being critical. Once again, same kind of the earlier half of that sentence, still kind of introducing the claim that the author is referring to for their own point. Not all assessments people make of one another will be positive. Nope, not really. This is more, once again, it's like a reiteration of the second sentence. Let's look at E. There's wisdom behind the injunction against being judgmental. This is perfect. This is literally word for word almost of what our conclusion is. So the correct answer is E.